Most people imagine the Wild West as a land full of cowboys, but did you know that only about 1/3 of cowboys were actually white? Many were black, Mexican, or even Native American, but Hollywood rarely shows this. The Wild West era lasted from the mid-1800s to the early 1900s. It was a time of adventure, lawlessness, and change in America. People moved west in search of land, gold, and new opportunities, but life was not as glamorous as movies suggest. Cowboys were not just gunfighters riding into the sunset. Their real job was herding cattle for long distances, often in harsh weather. They faced dangers like stampedes, wild animals, and outlaws. Speaking of outlaws, many of them became legends, but they were not always as heroic as stories make them sound. Jesse James and Billy the Kid were famous, but they were criminals who robbed banks and trains. The West was also full of danger, but not because of constant gunfights. In reality, most towns had strict laws, and gunfights were rare. The famous quick-draw duels were more common in books than in real life. One of the biggest forces in the Wild West was westward expansion. The US government encouraged people to move west, but this often led to conflicts with Native American tribes. Many indigenous people were forced off their lands, leading to tragic events like the Trail of Tears. The discovery of gold in California in 1848 changed everything. Thousands rushed west in search of fortune, creating boomtowns overnight. Some struck it rich, but most ended up broke or working tough jobs in dangerous mines. Despite the hardships, some figures in the Wild West left lasting legacies. Buffalo Bill Cody became famous for his Wild West shows, shaping how people saw the West for generations. One of the most famous events of the Wild West was the gunfight at the Corral in 1881. It lasted only 30 seconds, but it became a legend, turning Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday into household names. The Wild West was not just about cowboys and outlaws. It was a time of change, opportunity, and struggle. The truth is more complex than the myths, but that is what makes it so fascinating. What are your favorite Wild West stories? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the untold stories of history, be sure to check out our other videos on the topic.